today, and we're talking again to Coach RReed, who is the head coach of the Tennessee State University football Tigers. Coach Reed, let's allow you over the rest of this segment to talk about what you consider to be some of the challenges that you as a head coach feel that you face in dealing with the Tennessee State University football program. Some of the fans, some of the alumni, some of those fundraising, whatever you wish to deal with during this period, try to pull all of that information together for us.
Well, first of all, I think that, you know, over the years, I've been a part of Tennessee State football for a long time. And over the years, our fans are very passionate about football. And they're very passionate about winning. and there's nothing wrong with that. But with winning comes the kind of support that you really need from your fan base. You know, oftentimes some of the challenges are fundraising. And, you know, we have an athletic budget that we use, but you have to understand that athletic budget encompasses travel, it encompasses recruiting, it encompasses scholarships, it encompasses room and board. So now when you start talking about, well, your recruiting budget, and sometimes you get kind of limited in some things that you can do for your team because the money just isn't there, and that's no fault of the universities, that's no fault of the coaching staff, but you know, that's where the fundraising becomes important. A lot of times you talk with the bigger schools and they say, well, you know, they can hire staff and they can name them in the same day and all this. Now we have to go through a process at the university when we're naming our staff. We have to interview a certain amount of people. We have to have a pool. We have to pick from those pools. It has to go to EEOC, and then you have to make recommendations. Then you have to interview 3 or 4 people from that file. So there's a lot of red tape that goes on that is just university policy. Whereas at University of Tennessee, or let's say Memphis, a lot of the coaches' salaries are going to come, University of Alabama, from outside sources. That's not university involved. So
that's what explains all those.
Right, they can bring guys in and say, hey, we're going to pay this guy, and it doesn't have anything university. It has to do with either the booster club or some kind of outside source that'll take care of that. So I'm in the process of coming up with some fundraising ideas to try to solicit and involve the community in what we're trying to do at Tennessee State University, because it does cost money to run a program. It costs more money than is allotted by our budget to run our program. So we have to be diligent in fundraising and going out and talking to people about giving to Tennessee State University. So those are some of the challenges that I've seen this far, but I also know this. I know that there are people out there willing to help and that want to help, and some resources that we haven't tapped into yet. So that's going to be partly my challenge that I haven't asked. We haven't asked for. So that's going to be one of my tasks and one of my projects here at Tennessee State University early on is to you know, to rally fan support, to be seen and more visible in the community, to do some community outreach programs with our football staff as well as our team, be more visible in the community. Those are things that we talked about as a staff. Those are some of the things that I've shared with Dr. Johnson and Ms. Phillips as my vision where this program is going to go. And they've been nothing but supportive of what we're trying to do thus far. So I really feel strong about what we're trying to do. I really feel strong about what we're going to get accomplished here. I think that, you know, this is going to be the start of something great, and I have a passion for this job. The coaching staff will have a passion for this job, and the bottom line is get it done. Every great leader ultimately gets results. And, you know, I always tell my guys, bottom line, I don't want all the labor pains, just give me the baby. You know?
So you're really just proud to be the head coach of the Tennessee State University football team.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
And it shows. It really shows. And I think that with some of the things that you are bringing to this program in terms of fundraising activities and et cetera, I think that will play a very important part for people to recognize that it is important that they support Tennessee State University, and that the state budget, the money from which we get the state funds, is really not hardly adequate in a real
Right.
sense for just educational things and et cetera. Even though,
And you know, it's not the fundraising isn't just for football.
Mm.
It's for the education of our student
Mhm.
athletes. It's for summer school.
Mhm.
It's to be able to enhance recruiting, to be able to branch out in some of the areas up north that we normally can't get to. Detroit, where we have a great fan alumni base up there. DC, where we have a great alumni base up there. So those are kind of areas that we're trying to get to, but we need funding and we need monies to be able to do that. So I'm not going to sit on my tail and wait for somebody to bring it to me. I'm going to go out and get it along with my staff.
well, now when you get ready to travel with your team, Coach, you got a large number of individuals, football teams themselves. You know, a large number of individuals. What's some of the ways that you move this team from here to Memphis, for
Well,
example?
you know, and it's kind of ironic that you asked that because everything we do is very systematic. We have itineraries for everything we do. From the time we board the bus to the time we get to the hotel, or the time we go to practice, the time we go to get, we're moving boom, 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 boom. And when you're moving, you know, in excess of 100 people, you know, you really have to be very meticulous in what you're doing. You really have to have a system in place that works. And I think that a lot of times people think that we just show up and play on Saturday, get on the bus and go home. But there's a lot of things that are involved when you're traveling. A team, you know, you have chapel in there. You wake up, you eat breakfast, you have a walkthrough. You have some downtime. You'll have a meeting. You got film. Then you have chapel. Then you have pregame meal. Then you have to board the bus. Everything is done on a time schedule. And there's an itinerary for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for even when we get back on the trip. So it's really a lot more than what people see. They think we kind of just show up on Saturday, get off the bus, and go do something. But our kids put a lot of time and effort in what we're trying to do because we have a 20-hour work week that we have to deal with, that we can only practice 20 hours, and we have to give them one day off a week. So those kids are going to study hall during that time. You know, they have weights, they have practice, and they have meetings.
So it's not just an easy time
No,
of just rolling
you know,
around.
And people always ask me, say, athletes think they're special. I say they are. Because, you know, the regular student can, you know, wake up at noon, take a 1 o'clock class, and go from 1 to 6. Most athletes have to have 8 o'clock classes. You know, they have to get up, they have to go to class because the classes have to be done by 2 o'clock so they can attend meetings, weights, football practice, and training table, what we have for dinner that night. So, and study hall sometimes at night. So it's really systematic what they do. They are special kids, and you know, we try to treat them as such. But we also understand that there's a certain discipline that has to be involved in your program. There's time management, and there's a certain amount of respect that has to be given from us to our players and our players to the faculty and whoever else is on campus that demands that respect.
Coach, over the last 2 minutes, and I always ask this question, have you got any prospects in terms of going to the National Football League, and what do you think is necessary in order to move from where you are, your level, and move a student from your level to a student, as you have Roger Cromartie, I think.
Javars Williams.
Yes. Can you tell people what is necessary in order to do that, for them to get some kind of...
I think that the facilities, we got a great indoor facility that's about to go up here at Tennessee State University in the next couple of months. But, you know, facilities, that's what kids look at. They're in the ESPN era these days. They see what's on TV. They want what's tangible to them. So when they see good things and nice things around campus, those are what draw student athletes to the campus. But we have to continue to do a good job of recruiting those athletes. And I think the one kid that you can probably keep an eye out this for is Anthony Levine. He was our free safety. He's been getting a lot of NFL scouts come through inquiring about him, and hopefully he'll get to play in one of these all-star games and be able to show what he can do. But I think he's a fine young man. He's going to graduate on time. And we're really, really proud of him. And we'll have several more over the next 2 years that I think we got a junior class that's going to be really good also.
Okay, and very good. Coach, let me, we're near the end of the show for today, and let me thank you for coming by and giving us that very, very excellent information in reference to some of the prospects in reference to the team. And of course, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.